This indicator is like the waves in the ocean. It will help you flow with the market when you fully understand how to use it and apply it to your trading. It's like the rev gauge on the jet ski. You're going to know when to gas it or when to simply turn it off. This is what a strategy looks like when it's fully implemented. Okay, so there was a win. Here's another win. Moving across. And here's another win. They take profits on the way up. Here we go. We've taken a small hit and we're back in. And well, we're currently in profit on this one. Okay, just to prove to you how good this script is, I'm just going to show you the strategy backtester. This is it here. As you can see, it's got a nice equity curve from the beginning. The net profit is sitting at 464. The percentage profitable is 83%. It's a little bit of a false economy because this has multiple take profit options. What that is effectively saying is it's 83% of taking the first take profit option, which isn't necessarily the closing trade option. But it's worth noting that it's still high. The profit factor is 7.179. For anyone who's a serious trader out there, you know that that's actually sort of ridiculous. When I first implemented this strategy, it was actually less than that, and it's actually just slightly increased recently. And the max drawdown is only at 10.42%. So it is extremely risk adverse, this strategy, but it obviously the equity curve here is proving its point. If I go into the performance summary, the kicker with this is the largest winning trade is 9.88%, and the largest losing trade is 1.88%. Okay, so to get into the strategy on this one, it does use leverage, this strategy, but what that enables me to do is to take a large amount of profits early on in the trade and exit the position in a sizable manner. So by using leverage as a tool, and that's all it is, it does enable us to get out of certain position sizes very quick. So we start scaling out basically quite quick. We're looking at 25% here on each one of the position size. So at this stage here, we've already downsized our risk in terms of how much risk is on the table. And as soon as those take profits were hit, the stop losses moved up to a break even function. I'm just going through this to show you what a working script looks like and how good it can be. I've developed 4 distinct methods to integrating this approach into my trading strategies. And understanding each one is critical to enhancing your backtest results. No joke. This is something that I've developed after noticing recurring patterns on the charts. Not to mention my coder, who is an absolute whiz with getting my ideas into functioning code. Before I dive into the details and bore you, I want to mention this is part of a trading video series I've created and put together for free on YouTube. It has actually been done in a progressive format in part of my trading course. So I have put this into playlists so that you can go back and look through these libraries. There's the essential indicators playlist, which this one is in. So you'll be able to see here all the indicators that I've used and why they're implemented into my trading style. There is also the essential basics for traders. This is massively critical information to anyone who's new at trading. Yeah, feel free, check it out. There are some things here that you just simply don't know that you need to know. One of those, for instance, is speed. New traders, you just don't know this. Check it out. The pros are all over it. Yeah, there's a lot of things here that, like I just mentioned, you don't know that you need to know them as a new trader, and they will dramatically help. Okay, now the bills are paid. Let's have a look. Okay, so the systemation key has the strength of trend indicator built in. So to access it, open it up inside the settings, go all the way down to the bottom to display and click on strength of trend. And it'll now be displayed in this bottom pane. We'll just open it up so we're full screen size. Now, as mentioned at the start of the video, indicator is showing you the strength of the trend, and think of it like the waves in the ocean. So we just want to flow with those waves, yeah? And that's sort of how we can use this in terms of applying it to our trading strategies. So There is this light grey bars here, and the green ones, that's technically a histogram. And obviously, the higher it is, means the higher the volatility is. So the higher the wave, the stronger the trend. So this is a strength of trend indicator. And you can think of it a little bit like a rev gauge for the market. So this is revving hard in this area, and over here, it's gone very hard for a long time. The first method to use this is that you can tell it to only take a trade when there's a strong trend, meaning it'll only enter a trade when it's above. See this little grey dotted line here going across? And soon as the bars cross this, um, they turn green, which means we can enter a trade. So it's saying in this particular script, only enter a trade when there's a stronger trend, which is doing what I call creating a no trade zone. This means that when the market is below that level, it's quite flat. Let's just have a look at this on the market. Now, this is a strategy on a 10-minute chart. And as you can see here, let's just open this up a little bit. But in reality, this was actually what it looked like. So you can see here, the market is just ranging. See how it's just basically going sideways. And the histogram down here is grey, meaning that the strength of trend is quite weak. So yeah, in this case, the jet ski's turned off. There's going to be no trades taken when this is grey. Moving along. So the strength of trend indicator has increased here, but it has obviously increased volatility, but price has decreased in price. So it's important to note this is not indicating trend or direction of price. It is purely showing you the strength of that trend. But we could actually reverse it and tell it not to take a trade once it's above a certain level, meaning that where we have been stopped out here, it wouldn't have entered because we were above a certain level. Inside the course that I've created, there is an inputs and definitions video specifically on how to do this inside the systemation key, and I'll go into greater detail on how to actually implement this. It's actually really easy, but the hardest part is to get your mind around what's happening with the indicator itself and the price action that's happening on the screen. And once you can marry those two together, you are getting that next step closer to understanding different market parameters. This can be used in reverse, meaning you can take a trade when the market is flat, meaning there is low strength in the trend. You're probably thinking, how so? Well, if you can use another way of determining trend or mean reversion, you can use this for getting better or tight entries. So for instance, on the chart here, you can see that it does have a clear trend. And as price has pulled back just below the EMA here, trend is really weak. So the strength of that move coming down has dramatically dropped off. It's getting to extreme lows. It's quite low, and then it has had a mean reversion. You might be able to pair that with the RSI or the stochastic indicator. They're my weapons of choice for this type of environment. So just keep that in the back of your mind. There are valid strategies that utilize trending markets with volatility. Multi-time frame analysis. That's right. That's right. This indicator also has the ability to do all of the above on a higher time frame point of view. This is critical in trading lower time frames under the 12-hour. We're on the 10-minute chart here, so it's not a bad example. It provides an edge for prolongated flat periods in the market where there are no waves. So right here, you can see that the indicator is going. Let's just increase this slightly. So you can see quite clearly here that there are periods going through this flat zone where it does turn green, saying that it should take a trade. But notice how there's a purple line down here. That is actually the same indicator, but it's plotting it as a line on a higher time frame, and it's saying not to take trades when it's purple, basically. So if it's yellow, it's a strong uptrend and you can take the trade. So, for instance, this trade that's entered here, it had to have a green yellow. Oh, it had to have the yellow line and the green line, indicating that it had a stronger breaker trend for this to take an entry. And you'll notice that by combining these, you can get really tight stop losses. So I'll just pull this down. This underpins my entire holistic approach to trading, which uses higher time frame analysis, but it puts it into code, which means I can trade lower time frames within scripts using high time frame analysis to assist. And this is one of those items that is massively underrated. I don't know anyone else sharing this information, to be honest, because this is something that I've created myself and I've just noticed in the markets. So you can see here, it's taken the entry. Yes, the yellow line here is low, but it is yellow, not purple, so it has entered. Now, this is actually was designed to set up as a scalp, and the thing was, it actually performs really well when you just take your initial profits and let it ride. Because there are some times where you can get these 10% moves and it's a leveraged play. So it does actually really capitalize on it. I think that the equity curve on this one just speaks for itself. You can see that obviously we've got tight stop losses, but the average win is just massively more than what the losses are. So average winning trade or largest winning trade is 9.88%. Well, largest losing is only 1.88. The average winning is 2.49%, but the average losing trade is 0.65%. So, yeah, when you can use this as a tool, and that's all it is, it's just a tool. We all know only rich men buy cheap tools. So, quite often when going through the strategy engineering phase, being able to set parameters when not to trade can be some of the best ways to increase your net profit on the back test. Not to mention lower the max drawdown, which means you can increase the leverage so that you can get even better net profit. And that actually enables you to get in and out of the markets a lot quicker. This was a very extreme move here, but let's just go back in time. There'll be some hits, but notice they're small in comparison of the wins. Yeah? Tight stop loss, high wins. Think of the risk to reward video that I've put out there. Once again, tight stop loss. And if this was hit, I'm only going to lose whatever it is, uh, say $100. But if it sells up here, I'm making $300. So then when it closes over here, I'm still making another $200. So I've risked say $100, and all up, this entire trade's made $500. Yeah, because the width of this here is basically one risk point. So you can just put that there and then above it again. It's sort of how it works, but that means that this is a risk to reward of roughly 2 to 1 twice. So yeah, so roughly $400 win. The strategy tester does give you the list of trades. So it'll tell you here what your last wins and losses were. So it'll tell you here that we're currently $26 in profit, but previously we took a couple of little hits. And yeah, I'll just scroll down so you can see this at your own leisure. But yeah, it is showing obviously winning trades. They just stack them. There's just a lot of them and they just stack time and time again. Okay, I'm getting a bit excited, but that's because it's taken me years to develop the systemation key, and I'm now showing you how powerful this tool is.